You'll have to put this on a fucking XXX website. Okay, that's the type of videos that he sent out.
Yeah, 100%. I'm actually surprised that it's on Instagram. I don't mean to sound like, हमारे ज़माने में ऐसा था, हम पहले phone नहीं use करते थे, and we were a lot better than the new generation, and they suck ass and everything. But they kind of do suck ass.
I have almost no visibility on what like HR culture is like.
Hey,
other than,
me
like,
neither. That makes two of us. That makes the two of us, man. I've been upskilling myself. I've been, I've not been doing shit. I've just
upskilling just means you're not doing shit.
No, you're telling me to come to Bangalore with like 25,000 in my hand. I'm not going to do that. Yeah.
Was it the guy who went another round?
Yeah.
Oh my God, what the hell is happening in this country, dude?
Yeah.
And then after that, he starts saying Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, nothing's going to save you at this point.
Yeah, man,
He's going to write a
crazy.
200-word essay and they're going to send him off, dude. That's all they're going to do.
No, but listen. They have CCTV footage. They have a lot of proof against him. Most probably, he's going to get a very strict, heavy punishment. Maybe 350 words. At best. Dude, you never know, dude. Our judicial system's crazy, man. They could just give the most severe punishment. Oh, I want to know whose hands his axe stuck in, man.
But yeah, dude, should we go into some like lighter topics before we get like lynched?
Okay, I think speaking of driving on a scooter, we sang Backstreet's Boys at the top of our lungs while driving through like Panji and Goa.
Wow.
What does full on mean?
Like full on, dude, like let go and dance. I've seen
Like
it as-
butt naked.
Not like that. Let go.
I mean, that's how I would like to. I think your girlfriend needs to start worrying. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, he's like my Sotan.
Yeah.
Stay persistent, be there, trust yourself, and yeah, man. Bitches ain't shit, hoes ain't tricks, man. Fuck that shit. Just focus on cheddar, money, get some money on the plate, and everything's sorted, man. Fuck that shit. Fuck everybody else, man. Fuck them hoes, man. I'm out.
Fine. So who's going to do the intro this time? I did it last time.
No, I don't know, Ashmit. So you'll only have to do the intro, right?
Okay, actually, Ashmit, how about you open the show
I'm the guest.
first?
What do you
What
mean
the
I'm the
fuck?
guest? I'm not supposed.
This is your first podcast,
kind
I
of
get
a-
it, but this is
what
common
kind of-
sense. Please introduce him. At least to me, you introduce him, not to the audience.
Fine.
Holy, I want to see how you introduce me as well.
Yeah.
All right. Calm
Oh
your.
my God.
Then he'll clear
Oh
all
my
your
God.
misconceptions later if you're wrong about it.
All right.
Listen,
right.
I'm the guest. I'm supposed to be treated like royalty, okay? All I get is compliments. You talk about me nicely. You introduce me beautifully. You never make fun of me.
We're too broke to
And you don't
deal-
need to do any work.
We're too broke
do
to be
no work.
treating anyone as royalty right now. But yeah, at least
Oh man. Listen, man, being nice never cost a penny. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna lay it out there. Just But
hey,
yeah,
you
go for
treat
it.
him like royalty, da. Show him the NGL hospitality.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah,
I'm getting fucking bullied on my own podcast. All right.
Podcast.
No.
Hi everyone. Hello. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome back to NGL. This is our first true episode after the podcast, and we got our first guest. Yes, hello there. That is
Hello.
Ashmit Nakra. He's an old friend of
Yes.
mine. We met each
Yes.
other through like a mutual friend, but became really close buddies through like I think gaming and like Breaking Bad memes and other nonsense like that. True brain rot, but he's like a true best friend, and he really was excited to be on the show. So we thought we'd have him on to open things up, and he's genuinely a nice guy. Ashmit, anything else you want to add about yourself?
Hey, I couldn't have said it better myself, honestly. You were missing a few more compliments. You could have said a couple of other good, nice things about me.
I
But
mean, I
think-
need to save some for the rest of the episode so people know just how close you and I are.
yeah, sure. Definitely. But no, I'm honored to be on the NGL podcast. I watched the first episode and I was not ready to be the first guest feature, but listen, I'll do whatever I can in my power, to make it like a worthwhile episode.
I mean, thanks, man. Like,
Yeah.
we're really
100%.
grateful that you came.
Yeah.
We hope to have a good time with you over here.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, to those who don't know, right? Ashmit and I were like really great friends, but we haven't been in touch for that much. I think we kind of like fallen slightly apart over the past, I think, year and a half or something, right? Like, what have you been
Really
up-
did be.
Yeah, we did, right? I mean, other than like occasionally sending like an Instagram reel or some other nonsense, and you know the kind of fucking reels we send.
Oh yeah, let's not put that out here for display. Yeah,
Right,
I
right.
can
Well,
edit shit out, so at least fill me in.
You'll probably have to upload the entire reel. So it's probably not worth it.
You'll have to put this on a fucking XXX website. Okay, that's the type of reels that we send
Oh
out.
yeah, 100%. I'm actually
that-
surprised that it's on Instagram.
Oh shit.
You know, the shit that we watch, it's on Instagram. That's crazy.
Instagram's a cesspool, man. That type of
Yeah.
content on Instagram.
I actually
is
want to
worse.
talk about that. I really want to have a conversation about that because right now, my explore page is absolutely effed up. It's just boobs and cats.
Same. That's just like mine.
Dude,
Right? It's
you guys mind showing your feed right now?
I'm on my
On-
phone, so
Oh,
here.
yeah.
my
yeah,
feed-
I'm just
my
gonna-
Hey, Neville, show your feed.
Dude,
You're the
as-
host.
as-
We want to know what
listen,
Instagram thinks you
You'll
are.
have to censor the entire thing. I'm not joking. It's that bad.
First,
It
let's
really is. And,
see if the camera even picks that up.
Oh, my camera will pick it up. Hey, this is the worst, dude. Like,
Hey, don't
like,
delete and
weird
like
memes.
say disinterested and stuff like that. Just show.
Nothing. I'm just scrolling right now, trying to find something that's like not.
No, that's the whole
like-
point
that's
is
like
you show it.
camera
That's all.
friendly, dude. Okay, I scroll a little bit.
Okay.
Can you guys see? This is my Instagram feed.
Hey, this is
you'll have to bring it closer. You'll have to bring it closer because I'll have to like. You're just showing like a small.
he's like, scrolled it down to the part where there's only bodybuilding stuff.
Oh my
Look
god!
at this. Look at this.
Yeah, it's
the
just
worst.
bodybuilding and chicks. Bodybuilding and chicks.
Yeah, it's the worst, man.
I mean, there are testicles on his on his For You page. It's just not, the audience. I thought. Hey, but speaking of which, I'm actually so my main gripe with seeing boobs and cats all the time.
Sorry to interrupt you. Sagar, pull up
Yeah.
your feed right now.
Okay.
Oh my god! Yeah, we did
Nah,
not.
pull up your feed right now.
We cannot let him run
I
away
thought
with
I
this.
was
Hold on.
safe. I thought I escaped.
Ah, you're never
But
safe.
mine is
I
very
never
aesthetic,
forget
da.
to.
Don't worry. I can't. I don't know
What
if you
is
can see
this?
it.
What on earth is this? Scroll a bit. Scroll a bit.
Yeah, da. I will scroll. What it?
Yeah, that's vanilla.
Don't ask me to show my all the clients' Instagram feeds.
This guy
though.
doesn't use Instagram that much.
Yeah, I
Looks
don't.
like
I
that.
don't. Like it's only to
Wait.
either to send him some reel that I really like and say, hey, we need to do something like this. I think that's the only time I use Instagram, or to upload some shit for a client. But yeah, you won't believe the shit we have come across in clients' Facebooks and Instagrams.
Hey, we can't
I actually want to tell me about that. It's wild. Actually, so the crazy thing is, I've realized that there was a little phase of Instagram where they were where you were getting added into all these obscene, weird groups on your own, right? That happened to me. I got added to a lot of weird groups. I even got added to a lot of simple jewelry-related groups, and they asked me to model and stuff.
Okay.
Which I mean, I can't say no to. I know it was a scam, but the thing is, Instagram, it's a very weird place now.
Yeah.
It's so foreign, and it's been in the making over the course of time, right? Like I started by saying I see boobs and cats, but there's a lot more than that. There's a lot of sensitive content. There's a lot of violent
Definitely.
content. And
Definitely.
this is an application that's been pushed to 13-year-olds and above. Right?
Yeah.
And it's not just this app. It's so many. It's even X for that matter, even Twitch, right? And there is absolutely no moderation for things like these. And
Right.
and I don't mean to sound like हमारे ज़माने में ऐसा था, हम पहले phone नहीं use करते थे, and we were a lot better than the new generation, and they suck ass and everything. But they kind of do suck ass. they're all iPad babies, and
Right.
none of them really have anything constructive to provide. I think I was watching this video on YouTube about how American kids cannot even form proper sentences or actually understand the most basic forms of English, phonetics, all that grammar. They struggle to actually create and say out proper sentences because they're more focused on using words like phantom tax raise and all shit
Right.
like that.
What?
Right?
Which words?
So,
These brain rot type.
yeah, brain
Yeah.
rot words. Their entire grammar and their entire vocabulary has been completely altered because of social media. So everything that they see on social media is what they talk about.
Right.
So they'll use words like riz or whatever.
Huh.
What other words are? I
Skibbity is another one.
Yeah, skibbity toilet. Holy shit! But that's been a trend forever.
What is
That's not
skibbity?
something new.
there's no meaning. There's nothing. It doesn't mean anything. It's just some.
Hey, listen, it's a cultural movement, okay? I just don't want to go into the depths of it, but it's been there ever since the beginning and inception of internet, okay? It's not a new thing.
Oh.
See, it's been used in so many contexts that the meaning's lost, if you ask me. Like, you can use it in any context and it somehow works. There's no true meaning to it now.
I'm so lost.
Like, but speaking on the same topic that like Ashmit just mentioned, I saw a study recently where so COVID, as you know, is like 2020, right? So there's a study on like COVID babies, all COVID's born during lockdown, and there is a tendency for babies born during that lockdown who had like spent their very early formative years, like in front of iPads and like virtual learning, that they actually apparently are it's some form of like learning impediments because as you know, all the brain rot type memes were there, right? And like all these kids grew up around that. So I remember hearing a story in the same article where there's a kid who couldn't be potty trained because there's that nonsense like skibidi toilet type meme, right? Where like the head comes out of the toilet, and that really disturbed the kid. The kid became very scared of the toilet. Or
really?
No. Sorry, it's the other way around. The kid associated the toilet with the memes and thought the toilet was a plaything. Get it? So it couldn't. So the parents couldn't properly toilet train the kid that this is like what the toilet is meant for.
Oh my god!
And that's just like one family who's brave enough to say that this is the state of their kid. Can you imagine how many kids actually are like this?
Oh wow! Can you imagine being scared of the toilet because you think a head's gonna pop out every time you go to take a shit? I never. If I was growing up with that trauma, I'd be taking a plastic bag everywhere.
I mean, I think being afraid of the toilet is like one thing, but like imagine the parents, like how disappointed they may feel that their kid is associating the toilet with like this random memes, like, oh, the toilet's a plaything. Like, I think that's even worse than being afraid of the toilet.
Yeah, just overcomplicating something so simple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, oh my god.
Because of how volatile and dynamic the internet's being, right? Internet culture in itself is like an ADHD generation right now. Like memes, let's say we go 10 years back, right? When the rage memes were like just started to die out, right? If a meme came out, that meme would still be viral for like a month. Now a meme comes out days.
Yeah.
I mean, like there was some weird like Homer Uchiha meme or something, or like some Travis Scott staring some meme. Like that came out. And then a bunch of like meme historians made videos on it. And then a week later, everyone's already forgotten about it.
Yeah. Oh my god. Fleeting memories. Can you believe it?
Right.
There's nothing. It's come to the point where I've noticed that memes change on a daily basis now. They're always trying to find. And you can see a lot of these smaller accounts really trying hard to convert some random clip into a meme. Yeah. And it's just this very desperate attempt to stay relevant. Mm-hmm. And that's why I actually want to ask Sagar, Sagar, you've been in the media industry for quite some time now. What is your take on trying to be relevant as a social media content creator, social media influencer content creator? How do you keep up with the competition? There's so many people trying to be at the same place at you, or they are already there and you're competing with those people as well. How do you keep up in such a competitive field?
This Neville and I were just thinking about this before we even shot the first episode of this podcast.
Yeah.
And I think I remember like saying through I don't know if it was we were making a post or something, and what I'd written there was, don't just be viral, be vital.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So I think like literally every thing we do in form of sharing information now is like in a way pandering to the audience, right? Anything we see is like, we see a lot of content out there saying, hey, you can make 100 scripts in 1 hour, and then you load it into this AI and then it'll make 100 videos in 1 hour. All you have to take is this one viral video. I'm like, okay, you're just taking a copy of a copy of a copy of something, because that one copy got some views, like what did it really do? But then I'm feeling also on the other side, I see like a lot of good things happening on social media as well. Like, people reaching out to like small businesses to help them, or, somebody has lost their child or the community comes together in some ways, I guess, but I don't know if it's like enough to like say that okay, that is salvation for the entire Instagram platform or social media platform. But it's a very chaotic thing, dude. I really don't know where to start and where to end this entire conversation. But I have a question. We're talking about how people are using social media now. But let's just say that all these resources were given to humans 500 years ago, maybe during the Industrial Revolution, when the printing press came out. What do you think? Would they be producing anything better? Would they be any more responsible than we are today? Were they morally or ethically or in any way more sensitive?
Back then, there was no form of censorship. People would put out whatever they could put out. If you could afford to broadcast something where millions would read it, everyone would do it. Like give all three of us, or forget all three, like anyone. Let's say you give them the option to like broadcast something to the entire world for free. Everyone will have some agenda which they'll put on that broadcast, right?
Okay, yeah.
Let's go back to the mindset of people back then. Okay, when the printing press first came out, the main demand for books were religious books. Let's say Bibles or whatever religious books were out there at the time. So those were the first books to get printed out. But then folks realized that you can use this for communication, mass communication. Boom. Next thing you know, newspapers came out. Now, what's the thing which newspapers are most associated with? Agendas or propaganda, you name it, right? That came very shortly after once newspapers came out.
Yeah.
Get it? If you ask me, if you gave this type of technology, these medium to folks back then, I think a couple of years we would wind up with something like this.
Yeah.
I think it's human nature to try to control, to try to influence, and just to try to put some nonsense out there, or whether it have meaning or not.
Yeah, I think spreading misinformation would be a lot easier.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Just lying to people straight on their faces would be so much easier. But I feel as if internet cannot exist without context. And when I say context, I mean everything that has happened in the world, because everything that has happened in the world constitutes, and comes together and forms the internet, all that information. And even if you're talking about propaganda, you're spreading propaganda only if you know what you're talking about, right? What you're trying to push forward.
Was the way wars would have occurred differently if these type of medium were out there? Because I'm not talking about recent wars in the sense of 500 years. Let's go back. Let's say Crusades and earlier.
Okay.
Having when you consider those types of wars or conflicts, right? A lot of the mindset was some leader with some agenda saying that, listen, we are better than the others. We need to go out there. We need to kill them. We need to get rid of them, and we need to spread our method of thinking. Now, that would have been so much easier if you could broadcast your method of thinking on a scale as we have today, right? Because instead of having to go out there and, let's say, fight, imagine you could broadcast whatever nonsense you're doing to the residents itself and convince them without having to go and fight, right? A lot of history would change that way. Like the same example as the Crusades, right? I don't want to go into semantics about it, but I think the Crusades would have been a lot more different if information could have been spread like this so much more easier.
Now this is all
also
hypothetical,
consider,
right?
I mean, yeah, they're super hypothetical. Right. Okay, well, I want to come back to something a little lighter. Okay. So I want to ask Ashmit, what have you been up to for the past 18 months?
18 months? Man, you're asking me like this is a job interview or something.
You said you were preparing, so we thought we'd just train you.
You're doing a pretty good job. I've been upskilling myself. I've been, I've not been doing shit. I've just...
upskilling just means you're not doing shit.
That's just I've got some certifications, obviously. I can do data analytics now. No, but I've been focusing on... No. That's some whack-ass Udemy sort of thing I got. But, I've been focusing a lot on music again.
Right.
Because so the last company I was working for just shut down randomly, abruptly on a random Tuesday afternoon. We just get a call and they're just like, okay, we're shutting down now. So, and I'll tell you about that later. But I've been focusing a lot on myself, on growing myself as a person, because I feel as if I've lost out on a lot. Because being at this age, right, this mid-20s age, all the way to your early 30s, you're so focused on this grind, on always running and chasing the next best opportunity that you can get. And it can get so exhaustive and so tedious that you don't get time to focus on yourself. Even if I do get, let's say, a day for myself, I just, waste it all by lying down on the bed or, just going off for a drive doing fuck all, right? So now that I actually have a lot of free time, right, and I absolutely have nothing to do apart from applying for jobs and getting disappointed, I can really focus on myself.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I've been doing. And I've been trying to even get back, I've been trying to connect with all my friends again. I remember we were talking about how we've fallen apart a little because we haven't talked as much. And I don't think we've fallen apart. I think we've just been so busy in our own lives that we haven't had time to sit down with each other and just exchange, ideals, information, just conversations, whatever. And now I have that time, and I'm so glad that I'm able to do that on a podcast where this is more than just a podcast for me. This is me just catching up with you, talking to you, right?
Right. Yeah.
And this is because this is basically what we do on a daily basis anyway. What we used to do before.
What we used to.
Yeah. This is practically how every conversation would go. And I it's so funny how I think about almost how most podcasts start with the same thought process as well. That dude, we had a great conversation. We have great conversations. Why don't we show that to the world? Why don't we let them listen to it as well? So, yeah, I think I've just been focusing a lot on myself. What have you both been up to? I mean, I'm meeting Sagar for the first time, but still, how have the last few weeks been? How have they been treating both of you? What have you guys been doing?
I mean, I think I'll start from around the same time you and I first got busy, right? So at the time, I was working for a large MNC. I was working supply chain, get it? Now, I was pretty focused on that, but after a year over there, they kind of cut me loose.
Yeah.
After that, I joined up with Sagar and I was working with media. Although it was a media company, I wasn't really that much into the media part of things. I helped him with all things technical.
Yeah.
I think it's been close to a year since. In that time, Sagar and I picked up a lot of experience and skills in the media industry. We learned a lot of things about social media, how it's evolving. It's changing on a daily basis. Even if you just follow social media trends regularly, it's going to be something new every day. So we did that for close to a year, taking on multiple clients, working with their social media, their marketing, you name it, etc. And then things are getting a bit light. I mean, okay, before things were light, Sagar and I we were quite busy. I had to travel to Goa, or Sagar had to travel to Bangalore. Things were quite hectic. Similarly, with our own internal projects and projects with clients, things got crazy heavy. I mean, 16 to 24 hours, sometimes you're busy straight.
Yeah.
But around Christmas time, things started getting light. And that was around the time when Sagar and I were like, hey, remember we had an idea, get a podcast of our own, a very casual one. He's like, now things we've got time for it. Do you want to fire up that engine and try it again?
Yeah.
So that's when we had a short discussion on how to do, or what to do about it. Then we conceptualized, not going to lie. Things work extremely so. We were not doing some crazy work over the past 3 months. But eventually everything came together and then we started off with this.
That sounds so nice.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you guys feel being owners of a fresh, brand new podcast? What is your vision? How are you planning to take this podcast ahead? Because I got a basic idea of the podcast in the first episode that you guys had. You were talking about how there is not a single conversation that you'd like to leave out. You'd like to talk about anything and everything that's under the ceiling, right? So that's a great vision, and I like that. But is there more to NGL? Is there more that we can see from this podcast?
All right. I would like to give the example of Occam's razor, right? The motive behind this podcast, it's the simplest one out there. All the other podcasts have some other agenda. Yeah. We don't intend to have an agenda. So because of that, we have no restrictions on what our discussions would be. So we intend to go forward with that level of openness, and we want to broadcast that openness. No agenda, no political motivations, nothing. Free, completely unadulterated speech.
Yeah.
That's great.
Right now, the world is ours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We got everything under the sun to talk about.
Yeah. I mean, literally when I told people that I was making a podcast, okay, they started trolling me, and they were like, "Oh, so you're gonna ask questions like, oh, what is death? Okay, what is God?" Like, this is the shit that's been discussed in the Indian podcast scene. I don't know if you watch Indian podcasts or listen to them.
I watch one podcast only, and
Which one?
that got recommended to me by my friend, and I love her for that. She recommended me this podcast. It's called "My Dad Wrote a Porno," and it's this beautiful podcast. I think more than over 200 episodes of this guy who's reading his late father's porn, like basically like this erotic book that he wrote in his time. It's this very big, full-fledged erotic novel, and this guy reads it with like his friends. It's like two of his other friends, and they're just like reading this entire book and then discussing it like in the fullest extent, full details. It's absolutely wild, and I'd really suggest you guys listen to it on your own. I don't want to spill anything here.
It sounds like you're recommending smut to us, dude.
I might be, but is it funny? Yes.
I mean, I don't know. I'll definitely take a look at it. Like, it's a very interesting take on a podcast. It's not something that I've heard of.
We need to get an eroticist once.
Once. Yeah. But adding to the point of what Sagar said, right? Like, when he told me that he got roasted for like starting a podcast and this was the roast they had to do, I was quite surprised. And then I just like, I opened an incognito tab, went to YouTube, and then I searched like just general podcasts, because then it'll just give me like the unfiltered Indian stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I saw almost every video was like political or some weird interpretation of spirituality. So I'm like, what is going on? This is, again, it's got some crazy either religious or political agenda. This is so strange. If this is the state of podcast or general talk shows in India, I'm like, what the hell is going on? The impression people have of these type of shows is so off of what it's meant to be. Like, we need to like, drive that back to what the intention is, which is what NGL is going to come back to, or going to do for the industry, as we hope.
Yeah, I swear. This is like a counterculture, seriously. Like, back in the 60s when the hippies started their counterculture against all that sudden economic and like war and all those kind of a boom that was happening. I feel like NGL, maybe not as big as the hippie counterculture, but small in its own league. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
I wanted to ask Ashmit something. So I know that you're like a HR type dude, even like a master. It's a MBA, right? You're an MBA?
Yeah.
All right. So like I have almost no visibility on what like HR culture is like.
Hey,
other than,
me
like,
neither. That makes the two of us, man. You want to add Sagar to that as well? That makes three of us then.
I was hoping you could like, pitch us, what it's like.
Yeah, what is HR? What is the job of an HR person like? Because we took interviews and we're like, is there really a need for another person to have actually a HR job? Like, what do they do every day in the office?
Well, we do a lot.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I'll definitely ask an HR about what they do, so I can let you know in proper detail. Right? Guy. I just know that we do a lot. Basically, what really goes on is we handle all the tasks that you guys don't want to handle. And when I say you guys, practically all the departments, all the grunt work, all the annoying work, all the, formalities, compliance, all that stuff, right? The rules and the laws that you need to, look at every time before you take up any task, that is something that you can leave onto our hands. And we'll make sure that we keep you in check and we keep the company in check while you go do your, little funny business out there, get those sales, right? Get that revenue. But what I have focused on in HR, I've majorly focused on a lot of learning and development. So the last organization, I have had zero development, but I hope I've helped some people. So the last company I was working with was an edtech firm, and which is basically providing leadership programs, learning programs for these certain organizations because they're struggling in certain areas. For example, people management. How do I deal with my juniors? How do I deal with my team? How do I guide them as a proper leader? How do I deal with cross-functional teams, etc.? So, that's something that I've been focusing a lot on as an HR, because in HR you have so many functions, and my main interest was always in growing and developing people, especially with having absolutely no knowledge about what I'm doing. So it's so fun to see somebody listen to you and pay attention to you while you have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. And I like to bring that back to ChatGPT. I remember Sagar talking about ChatGPT and talking about like how the same information just keeps getting regurgitated, right? You have no idea how much that fucking software has helped me, with getting through my job. I literally any task that I have, I just feed it into that cute little software, and I always make sure to say a thanks at the end because I really appreciate its services. It has helped me so much in so many of the tasks. Obviously, I haven't made it to any of the creative work because it is stupid at the end of the day. It really can't do any creative work, but it helps you. It gives you that little nudge, that little push that you need to give the results that you want. And I feel as if I know we're deviating a little, but all this technology and advent of technology, AI, everything, we could make good use of it if we keep it in moderation.
Right.
I feel as if everybody's just going overboard. There's so much AI content flooded on the internet. You can't even make sense from what is AI and what isn't. So yeah, but coming back to the HR conversation, fucked if I know what HRs do. So
everything you said about the HR job description just made it sound like it's a glorified intern. But seriously, like I can understand maybe in bigger companies how important an HR would be, like the way he's saying that, managing all the juniors, being a bridge kind of a bridge between the junior department, the senior department, the executive department, etc. Yeah. But like that, even Neville was HR. You're right. How was your HR experience?
Somewhat. See, because I had a corporate experience in a large company, when we were interviewing, taking on our hires, and I was those type of people issues, I was handling things with Sagar's company. I was present for almost every interview, and I was ensuring that there was good connection between the different processes that were going on. But I don't really consider that HR, man. It's just like me trying to mediate what's going on, making sure the communication is all right.
That is HR. Think about it.
That's what I felt he said.
That's pretty. Yeah. Think about HR is you never really feel like you're doing anything, till you realize that you actually have done something, that you have actually helped somebody. It's just really making sure that the oil's in place and that everything is working the way it's supposed to. You don't really do more than that. That's the main broad level understanding of what HR is. We make sure that everything works according to plan, everything works according to the mission and the vision that of that organization. So
right,
it feels like a very important job, but at the same time it feels like nobody's grateful for it, right? Do you feel like in your office you are sometimes cast out because you're like the HR guy?
That only happens because we are like made to be too nosy, right? Like I'm gonna defend like all the HR people. Like there are some idiots who are like really, really nosy and they really want to know everything that's going on. Like I remember working with a couple of HRs who were so involved in other people's personal lives. When's the baby coming? Oh, why are you working? There's still time for your, bump to come out. So why don't you come to the office? Oh, what are you going to name the child? Shit like that. Like they'll be extremely way too involved into your personal life. But then there'll also be HRs who basically are forced into doing these birthday wishes and doing these formalities and constantly hammering and troubling certain not exactly troubling, that's kind of their job, but I guess what really annoys people is the fact that we keep coming back regarding particular topics to make sure, like for example, let's say we want you to fill out a particular form or do a particular formality for and you are a defaulter, you're taking time with it, so we'd be tasked with checking up on you and making sure that you have done the task that we have asked everybody else to do as well. And I think that in combination with there's some weird HR people who are like extremely nosy, just all of that together just makes people hate.
I get it.
Yeah. So,
I remember when I watched The Office. Right? You guys seen The Office?
Yeah, of course.
Only in form of reels.
Toby.
Sagar is
We
like
hate
one
Toby.
uncultured guy, dude. But okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there is a HR guy in the office, Toby, right? And the gag of the office is like everyone pretty much hates Toby for being the HR guy. So I wanted to ask you, like, does that feel accurate? Can you relate to that? Where everyone did everyone hate you or like roast you or bully you for being the HR?
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of people came and bitched and moaned in front of me, you know. Like when I was working as an HR, people came and confided a lot into me. They really hated the company more than they hated me, and I was new, right? So they could like dump all their trauma onto me. So we were like 2 HRs in the organization, but they never called the other guy, and he was the CHR of the company. They never called him; they'd always call me, and they'd bitch about him in front of me, and I'd be sitting right next to him. So they'd be saying shit like, "Yaar, ye to कुछ नहीं करते सर तो पैसे भी नहीं देते हमको और हमको बोलते कि जाके just like they so I used to work in an NBFC organization, so we have a lot of relationship officers, or basically these frontline soldiers who go and do all the sales work, and they get paid like peanuts for the amount of work that they'd have to do, working like almost 10-11 hours in peak heat trying to make sales, and you're getting paid like 20K a month for that, and that's also being cut because it's CTC.
Right.
So it's getting cut. Obviously, it's getting cut. You're getting at the end of the day, you're getting like around 16,000 in your hand.
The amount of reductions are just so
what
much,
is even the point? What is even the point? I remember this one company, they called me for an interview. I went through the entire interview process, and they told me that if you work well, within 6 months we'll give you like 50,000. We'll add 50,000 to your salary. And I was like, is it monthly or yearly? They're like, annually. You're gonna add 50,000 annually. And the thing is, the salary that I asked them, which was my base package, the salary that they were offering was almost like 1/3 of it. So they said that I have to basically either every 6 months or every year I get a 50,000 bump, and that 50,000 bump for at least even in the next 3 to 4 years would not get me to my salary that I'm earning right now, right? And they were completely and they always and I hate that they do this. They always love to close it off with, well, Ashmit, you'll gain so much experience.
Oh, I hate that.
You know,
I've heard that so many times, man.
Right?
So many
I don't give a
times.
shit about your experience if I'm kacha banyan mein, I'm not going to move out in that city. You're telling me to come to Bangalore with like 25,000 in my hand. I'm not going to do that.
I mean, this was even after you had you done your masters, right? Like, can you imagine they're offering experience after a master's degree?
It's whack.
Ridiculous.
It's whack. There's absolutely no
ridiculous.
respect. And I remember this goes back to the first podcast episode that you guys had where you're talking about PhDs and I am still coming for
This guy remembers it
as well.
Yeah,
of course I do. It was a good podcast, man. It really opened my eyes up, man, because I was like, that's something I relate to. I've done a master's myself from a reputed college, and which doesn't feel reputed at all. It's a joke. But being there, having that tag with me that I've come from this college. And I've studied and I've invested so much money and years into this whole thing. I deserve something better than, a basic ass entry level position with the least amount of money that you can possibly give to anybody, right? And that too in a position that has nothing to do with my entire profession. Like I have been offered positions for being a sales recruiter or doing those cold calling tasks at during night shifts, which is something that you can get in through without even a bachelor's degree in most organizations.
Yeah.
Right. Some of them require bachelor's degrees, but some of them do not. You can get in just like that. If I'm being offered that after putting so much effort and energy, then what was the point? What was the point of my degree? What was the point of that, that 2 years of experience that I'm carrying right now, work experience? It makes absolutely no sense. I'm a starving artist or employee anyway. I'm just like basically struggling to make ends meet all the time.
Right.
And I'm still in a more privileged position as compared to a lot of other people that I know of and that I've heard of and I've seen. And it's the market's really bad out there.
Terrible. It's the worst.
One thing I always, never understood is like, have we become so quantitative that sometimes people I see this on every job post requirement, right? 4 years, 5 years of experience, but entry level job.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. And I'm like, okay, you guys are cunts. Okay. So forget that. That's
Yeah.
one thing. But another thing is 3 years of experience or 7 years of experience required minimum, etc. But I have met some people with 7 years experience who don't know shit. And I've met some people with 7 years experience or even 3 years experience who know way more. This
Yeah.
kind of quantitative thing where we say 7 years is this and 3 years is this has really I feel that it screws the entire thing up, because we're not really valuing what we put in that time, rather just that number of 3 years or 7 years or 5 years, etc. Because I mean, if you ask Neville in that last 1 year he was in Leela, like how many years of experience did you feel you gathered in that 1.5 years or whatever?
I don't even want to quantify it in terms of years, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even like saying that. The amount of responsibilities I had, okay, the amount of things that I achieved, that alone should speak for me. Like, I don't want to be qualified as like just 1 year over. You need to understand what I did in that 1 year.
Exactly.
Like, I want to speak to you about how you mentioned these job type posts, right? I have a theory of why you'll see these jobs with like these crazy amount of years or whatever. So if you ask me, 50% of jobs like or postings which have a year experience, the first 50% is they just put a number up there because they know that they themselves don't believe experience means anything. They just want to put a high number because they think it'll attract someone who knows what they're doing. That's one reason. The other reason is people who want high experiences. I believe that some hiring managers or whatever have understood that, considering the corporate background, the corporate environment we have here in India, more years of corporate experience means this guy is going to be more obedient. He's going to be more submissive or whatever, right? Because like we've all had experiences where we know of how soul draining corporate life can be, right?
Yeah.
So when they put these high amounts of experience, I think the expectation is this guy will not give us trouble once he joins. We want some guy to do whatever work is there. He will not ask for anything. He won't do any trouble. We'll like just squeeze out whatever work we can from him and then drop him once his health fails or whatever.
Yeah, and more than that, it's also about just not being bothered. You know, like I don't want to be bothered. After I hire you, you do everything on your own, and I don't need to. Like, I don't want you to expect anything of me. You know, when it comes to like whether I should help you out in this particular task or train you. I remember my last organization that I worked in, my first ever organization that I worked in, that NBFC firm. The first day I joined in, I was just getting accustomed to everything, right? And the second day, the CEO walks in, like all high and mighty, and the fucker is shorter than me also, right? He's like some fucking 4 foot. Fucking God, I hate that piece of shit.
Ashmit, you're taller than me, man. You're a pretty tall guy. I think 99% of the population is taller than you. I mean, shorter than you.
Hey, listen,
What's your height? What's your height?
6'3.5".
What the fuck?
So so I've just had a terrible posture all my life because I'm so used to looking down on people all the time when I'm talking, right? So my CEO was nothing, short of that. But he was short, yeah. So the thing that happened with that guy is he comes to me and he finds me, right? He looks for me in the organization. He comes to me and in front of the entire organization, screaming at my face that why haven't I shown results yet? Why haven't I, gotten accustomed to the software? And why don't I have a pipeline of people that I can interview already? I said, motherfucker, I just joined. I don't even know your name. I know the person who hired me. I don't know who you are. Right, I just got here, right? It's my second day. Give me a break, and that's something that went on a daily basis, right? It's sometimes I feel as if for organizations like these, it's better to hire people with experience because you bring in freshers like me or somebody else, and then you put them through hell, teach them nothing in return of it. Right, and they ultimately leave your organization with a very bad taste in their mouth. Right, yeah. With less experience, right? Actually, no experience, right? And you basically have to start all over again from the next organization you go. So you either omit that company from your CV, or you be honest and you tell people that, hey, I was in a very bad company. But then you can't do that either because if you say that, then
they'll assume that you did something wrong. Like they immediately put the blame on you. They don't want to accept the company as bad.
Yeah, so it gets really hard for a person who's trying to find their way into this whole corporate sector. It takes a lot of practice.
I can imagine what you're saying, because let's say you had this experience, this really bad experience, and then let's say you go for an interview, and then like, I got a year experience over here, and then they ask you, what did you do in that experience, and then you have to bring up the nitty gritty, which will, like, it will make things look bad, because the mindset of a hiring person is, we need to find reasons not to hire this guy. So they'll imagine in their mind, like, I don't really buy this guy. So maybe the company wasn't that bad. Maybe this guy is useless. And because of that, it's going to affect your, what's it called? The way you appear to them. Because, like, let's say you work for like a really big company for a really long amount of time.
Yeah.
Or let's say you work somewhere really reputed. The first question is, why the hell is this guy left the company coming over here? It's no longer the sense where people think to you that, oh, this guy, he's got some crazy experience in a big company, maybe he might help us. It's like, I think something's wrong with him. Something's wrong with this said person that, because that we need to be careful with them.
Yeah. Is that something that has happened to you?
Not exactly, no, but actually it's kind of happened. I've had some people ask me like, why this, why that, and I tell them the truth. But I always feel that they may be doubting me.
Yeah? Why do you feel like that?
I don't know. I mean, it's difficult to really say. Sometimes it's kind of a gut feeling. You know, if you tell someone, sometimes you can just look at them and you'll be like, I don't think he's like 100% on the same side as I am.
Yeah.
Mostly a gut feeling. I can't say for sure, but it's kind of what I felt in a few talks.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for not having any corporate experience at this point.
You should feel good about that. I don't think anybody's really happy to have corporate experience
Really?
right now.
It's so soul draining. It's very soul draining. You will lose your identity.
You don't know how many times I've heard that if you had corporate experience, you would understand what we're trying to say. That sentence, you know, you have no idea how many times I've heard that from like everybody I've worked with. They're like, dude, you don't have corporate experience, you won't understand what I'm trying to talk about. Shit.
Let me speak to you on that. Okay, if you ask me, everyone should have at least 1 or 2 years, so that you know what it's like.
I swear.
You'll know the good, the bad, the ugly, so that when you come out of corporate experience, you'll know what to avoid.
Yeah.
Because as I said, like, as soul draining as it is, as draining as it can be in general, right? I think everyone for their own professional development should experience it for a year or a decent amount of time.
I feel like I need that luxury right now of, you know, waking up in the morning and being like, go to like a familiar environment and do the same work over and over again. Right now in a startup kind of a scenario like this, I feel I wake up and I'm just like thrusted into like uncharted territory every morning, and everything is new and new problem, new this thing. And you're like, okay, what do I fix first? You know? But I feel like I deserve that right now, where I can just go to a job, wake up in the morning, see the same faces, do the same kind of a thing, open a software, and there's an IT department to fix any issues instead of me calling you and us figuring it out together. Okay, like, what is this issue? Is it because it's a cracked version of the software, or is it like, oh my God.
But I'll tell you, like, what you described, that will get old in 1 month.
Yeah, I'll get bored of it definitely. Especially, you know
so
me,
monotonous.
Right? I'll get bored in a day.
It's so freaking monotonous and repetitive. After 1 month, you'll be like, what the hell am I doing?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Fuck.
You know, let's move on to something a little lighter. Ashmit, have you ever been to Goa? Have you ever been to Goa?
Oh, no. I mean, I have, but I was like a tiny little kid, so I don't remember anything. I just remember being at the Holiday Inn, man. What a fabulous hotel. That's the only thing I know. That
Holiday
resort
Inn
was my entire Goa, unfortunately.
Is it the one next to the beach? Is it on the beach? Holiday Inn?
What's not next to a beach, Sagar? It's Goa, dude.
No. What? Hey, that's just simply everybody says that, but everything is not next to the beach, dude. But yeah, the thing is, we recently we sponsored a fashion show here, the annual fashion show that happens in Goa, and that was at a place called Holiday Resort or Holiday something, and it was on the beach. And I'm thinking, hey, like, what's the coincidence?
I mean, see, I hate to break it to you, Sagar, but like, if you're going to be in Goa, you're probably going to be in a beach.
Yeah,
like, that's just going to happen, right? And most hotels, I think most hotels have it anyway, right? Like, I think that's kind of like a specialty for Goa. Like, if the hotel's got like a beachside thing or it's got a beach access, then that's like a better place to go to than going to a hotel that doesn't. I mean, that's what I know. I have very limited information about Goa and how it works.
How many years ago did you say you came here?
No, I am not in Goa.
No, how many years ago did you come visit? Yeah.
Okay. Dude, I think like maybe 10 years,
Oh,
10,
okay.
15 years back. Yeah, I was a kid. I was like,
Oh.
so I was probably your height.
What does that mean, dude? Sagar's almost as tall as I am, dude.
I shot up too soon, man. I shot, my height just shot up like one random dude. I don't know. I was, I think, 7th or 8th grade, and I was 6 foot one day.
Crazy.
Same, dude.
Realized, yeah.
I was like a short ass kid till I was like 7th or 8th or maybe 9th, I guess. And suddenly I shot up.
I
Yeah,
remember,
but-
like, I think when I was 6th or 7th, at 14 years old, I became 6 feet and I did not grow at all since. I just became like the second tallest guy in the class and I was like the same height for like 10 years straight.
Wait, you were the second tallest at 6 feet and 14 years old.
Oh, yeah.
What?
I mean, the school I
Yeah,
went
they're
to.
freaks of nature out there.
Yeah,
man.
the
They're
school-
freaks
the
of
school
nature
I
out there
went
that you're
to-
not aware.
A lot of the guys tended to be taller. Like I wasn't. I certainly was not, like I think I was like somewhat above the average height when it comes to guys in my batch at the school that I went to.
Dude, you remember
You
that
know-
phase when the girls were all taller than us?
I never experienced that in school.
What?
Nah,
You
I
shot up
swear.
at 14, but you shot up at like when you were 8th or something, right? What about when 5th or 4th standard, etc.?
Yeah, 8th, how old was I in 8th, man? It's like probably same age, man. Close
I
15,
think
16.
it's 14. It's 14. It's 14.
Yeah,
Yeah?
pretty much the same age.
I think around
Yeah,
4th
yeah.
or 5th or 6th, around that phase. Not it won't. I don't think it'll apply to him, but I think all the girls were taller back then, right? Than the guys. No.
No.
Hey, listen. So I'll tell you something. I did my schooling in Gujarat.
Okay.
And Gujarat is infamous for being extremely short. Like everybody's just
Yeah.
fucking. I think my main reason for having the shittiest posture that I have, like I look like a camel, right? So, and the only reason I look like that is because everybody I talk to is just short. Like absolutely, I don't think I can recount the last person I talked to, on eye level. Not a single person. Not even my parents, man. Even they're shorter than me. So it's just a full nightmare. I'm always just, yeah, okay, that's great. That's good to know. Always looking down, all the time.
Crazy.
I was
So-
really surprised when I first met you in person because I'm close to 6'1", and I would say a lot of people are shorter than me.
Yeah.
This guy comes up to me and he's I think he's the only guy I know who I have to actually look up to. I was quite surprised how tall this dude was.
I
I
always
remember,
love when they say that, I always love
before-
when they say that. I always look up to Ashmit because he's so tall. I always see that part out.
when we used to like talk on Discord, like when we used to like game
Yeah.
and stuff, I remember you told me once that you're 6'3", and I did not believe it. I'm like, there's
Yeah.
no way this random North Indian dude who's like living in like some village right now is like 6'3".
What? Me being North Indian, what does that have to do with
He's
my
North
height?
Indian as well, dude. He just hides it. Okay, he's Marwadi.
I'm not Marwadi, boss. Don't
Dude,
call
he's
me.
Marwadi AF. How much
I am
percent
not
Marwadi?
Marwadi.
Yeah. Dude, that day he gave me like one exact number, some 64% or 69%, something he said.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
how much percent Marwadi are you?
I am 62.5% Rajasthani,
That's
not
like,
Marwadi.
That's more than
62.5%, like, we can cut off like the rest of your body. 62.5% is like a lot, dude. You still survive. That's a lot.
What does that mean? Like you'll amputate the non-Rajasthani parts or what? What does that mean?
Okay, what about you as Rajasthani? What do you think about you as Rajasthani? Even I know you're not gone there much, but like, what do you think?
See, culturally, I have nothing in common with like Rajasthani folk. Maybe some people say that when I point out that I actually have Rajasthani ancestry, they say like, okay, you kind of look Rajasthani, but I don't know what part of me looks Rajasthani. Might be the beard, might be because I twirl my mustache like this. I don't know. I think I might have gotten like. I think I might have
the
gotten
whole
like
whole
my
thing's going on for him right now. I
Yeah.
can see that.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to the elephant, right?
right, but I think maybe I might have gotten like my limb length and limb structure from my mom's side, who are all the Rajasthani. So that's about it. My Hindi also is terrible, and I don't know any words in Rajasthani.
So,
Um,
so Rajasthani, Gujju, and like Kannada.
Hey, not Guju.
You're not
Who's like
Gujju. You're not a Gujju.
No, I'm not.
Where are you
No,
from?
No, not at all. I'm from Delhi, man. Not
Oh.
at all proud about it, but
Okay.
yeah.
True,
Yeah,
born and
yeah,
bred Delhi,
yeah.
I tried.
Shit, like that's your
Yeah,
native
hey,
place. Where in Delhi?
If I get kicked out this call, I have no problem. I'll understand. I'll be okay with it. I would like to apologize myself, man. I stay away from Delhi as much as I can. But yeah, man, I think I was in horse cars and all that area. I don't know if you know.
Yeah,
Greater
yeah,
Kailash, horse
yeah.
cars. We moved a lot. We moved a lot.
Okay.
So we were in north, not in south. Thank fuck. But yeah, majorly north. Then I shifted to Gujarat pretty early on. But then I moved out myself. I was like, nahi, Gujarat mein nahi hoga, bhai. It's all meethapan over here. It's all chashni and jalebis and faflas over here. And very nasty accidents, which I was just talking to Neville about before. I don't know if you guys heard about it. This Rakshit kid, Rakshit Chaurasya.
So what happened to me?
He became really famous for like vaporizing 8 scooters, absolutely demolishing people. Like he killed one woman. It was a freak accident. It was a day before Holi, and he just plowed through like 7-8 scooters at once at night. Yeah.
Was it the guy who went another round?
Yeah.
Oh my God! What the hell is happening in this country, dude?
Yeah. So the first thing he says when he gets out of the car is another round, right?
Another round, dude.
Yeah.
He just killed a woman. Oh my God.
A mother, dude. She was just getting colors for her daughter. It was such a bummer. I was so upset when I heard that, and when I saw his face all battered up, the first thought that came to my head was he's not being beaten up enough. Like he needs to get beat up a lot more. Hey man, he's in the same city as me. If I find him,
yeah, dude. Literally, okay. It's fun when the friend comes out of the car and says, "Hey, I'm not in all." This guy was driving and he just walks off. Okay, and this guy gets off and he's like, something he says, Tanya, some shit he says. Nikita.
Yeah,
okay, some fucking North Indian name, but like he says that and then he starts saying another round. I am like, dude, you just killed someone. Okay, like, and then after that he starts saying Om Namah Shivaya.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, nothing's gonna save you at this point. Okay, that's not gonna save you.
But it's so interesting to think about that, right? That you're bringing in religion to save your ass.
I swear.
Right? You're thinking that if I just scream Om Namah Shivaya and praise the Shiv Lord, then like,
people will just like,
nobody's gonna touch me now. They don't know the trick up my sleeve. I'm going to take God's name. That doesn't work. It doesn't work like that.
Somebody should show that to the parliament.
I'm sure people in power have seen it, man. It's just that because of how things are politically, I don't know what's going to happen.
The worst part about it is I feel bad for every girl named Nikita because she's been bullied. Like every girl named Nikita has just been bullied now for this one thing. And she has nothing to do with it. Like no Nikita has anything
even
to
if
do
it
with
was that Nikita which like who knew this guy, like what's her fault?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this is what I don't like about dudes.
Like that, we should be blaming Shiva. We should be blaming whoever says another round. We should be blaming every other person whose name came out of his mouth, right?
Yeah. I swear to God, this is something I don't like about brats like these. They'll blame anything but themselves. They'll do anything but just take accountability for what they've done wrong. They took God's name. They took some random chick's name, right? He's talking about taking another round, but he's just never gonna say, "Hey, man, I fucked up." And I'm sorry, and that doesn't make up for it, but I just want to apologize. That's all you have to do.
Yeah,
man.
and all he's gonna have to do is write a 200-word essay.
Hey, man,
he's gonna write a 200-word essay, and they're gonna send him off, dude. That's all they're gonna do.
No, but listen. They have CCTV footage. They have a lot of proof against him. Most probably, he's gonna get a very strict, heavy punishment. Maybe 350 words at best, dude. You never know, dude. Our judicial system's crazy, man. They could just give the most severe punishment to that little poor 24-year-old. Imagine his poor little hands writing all those
ChatGPT don't work.
Yeah, man. They won't even allow him to use ChatGPT. What a bummer,
It's a big punishment.
Yeah, honestly, if I'm ever going to do that, I'll just be prepared with an essay, man.
We'll keep it ready, right? We'll keep a 500-word one.
Yeah.
Saat Khoon Maaf.
Yeah. Just send me back home. Here's your essay. I'm not doing any time.
Thank you. God, I can't believe what's happening, dude.
Not at all. Yeah, man.
So, but yeah, dude, should we go into some like lighter topics before we get like lynched?
Okay, I think when we were talking about like Goa and beaches, this reminded me the last time I was in Goa with Sagar.
Hey, your voice is very soft, da. I feel you should speak into the mic. Yeah.
Can you hear now?
Much better.
Yeah. So as I was saying, last time I was in Goa, I mean, when we were speaking about Goan beaches, you reminded me of like the last time I was in Goa with you. So while we were working, it's like really hot, like we are tired as well. So we wanted to cool off. So the plan that we had, like to rest is like we would go to the beach like once the sun starts going down. We'd like have a drink and just relax. Like Sagar and I realized while we're doing it that we look like this gay couple, you know? Like we would walk onto the rocks. We would just sit alone next to each other. He would have a beer in his hand. I would have a breezer, and we would watch the sunset, and we were just watching it together. That's it. Everyone who walks by is like, who the hell are these two guys sitting on the beach, just talking about nonsense, laughing randomly, enjoying drinks.
Oh my god!
Hey,
Did we
listen,
even hold
all-
like we held hands or what?
No, we didn't.
That was the only thing. That was the only thing that was remaining. I feel we should have held hands and like just been like, okay, confirm the suspicion.
Thing
Oh
is,
my God.
you dressed super trippy. Like you'd have like the super like trippy type top shirts or whatever, and you had those really baggy, loose, again
harem
trippy pant on
pants,
bottoms.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't know, man. Like when you brought it up, I looked at you and I looked at myself, and I'm like, shit. Like, oh shit, we look like a gay couple going together, like on a Goa romantic vacation, the way we were like driving everywhere on a scooter. Oh, speaking of driving on a scooter, we sang Backstreet Boys at the top of our lungs while driving through like Panji and Goa.
Wow,
We were
what's
like,
next?
go-
NSYNC, man. Next is NSYNC and One Direction. All the songs.
We were singing like We Want It That Way at the top of our lungs, like going through like the intersections of Panji through the residential area.
Shit.
And what fun.
Yeah, I just see two guys having a great time, man. That's
Yeah.
all I see.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, just
You
two.
should come to Goa, dude. I think everybody who
So that all three of us can sit on the scooter and sing the song.
I want it that way.
Definitely, man.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but what's there about Goa? Like, tell me. I don't
Dude.
know a lot about it anyway, man.
I
Tell me
don't.
something. Tell me something I would love to check out.
When do you get free? I'll tell you what's there in that month.
Oh wow, it's like a monthly thing.
Yeah, Goa.
Wow.
Actually, everyone thinks that Goa is like the same static thing all over, but it changes
Yeah,
like If you
yeah.
come maybe in November, December, I'd say don't bother.
Yeah.
Okay, but unless it's
Right.
like the first time you're coming to Goa, then yeah, maybe come over. But it's super expensive in November, December, Jan.
Mm-hmm.
If you come in the rainy seasons or just like before the rain starts hitting, then Dudh Sagar and all these places are great. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, if you come in the summer is like death.
Oh,
Summer
yeah.
is death, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't recommend summers, but other than summers, like there's a lot of things to do actually in Goa. Do you remember we went to that alcohol museum?
Oh yes, I know
Oh
the
my
alcohol
There's
museum.
an alcohol
God,
museum
that-
over there.
Yeah. That it was
Yeah.
a very weird trip, dude. I was like,
It was. I mean, it wasn't that impressive if you ask me.
yeah,
I mean,
it was like so
we
lame.
walked in. I thought it'd be like a huge building, you know, with like floors and floors, because alcohol's got a lot of history. It was like just like a small, like what could have been a showroom, one of those type of buildings with like a warehouse on the back. And then we went in. We thought, let's get a tour, right? I think it was like $350 per head. How much was it?
300, 350 something. Yeah.
Something per head. Okay.
Yeah.
So then Sagar, Rai, and then this other couple were there. There's four of us, and then like the receptionist.
This couple had hustly, dude.
Whatever, dude. Like four of us were there for the tour. This lady comes out here. She speaks to us about all these rows and cups of different alcohol glasses, you name it. She occasionally gives like a factual, some fact about this country's alcohol, that country's alcohol. But the reason why Sagar and I took that tour is because at the end of it, we would get 4 shots of Fenny.
I knew it. I knew it. Obviously. What else?
Yeah.
Why
So-
else?
we went through the entire museum. Then there was a part
Yeah.
of like the Fenny making, because like Fenny is like the Goan thing. It's protected there, like how champagne is protected, right? So
Yeah.
they gave us the history of Fenny, and like they told us of how it's made, you name it. Finally,
Yeah.
we walk back into the cool AC room. Mixologist shows up, and Sagar like, yes, it's time.
Finally, this is what we came for.
So the guy made us 4 shots each. One was like
Yeah.
the neat, one was some passion nonsense.
Guava.
He had the dumbest names ever, dude. Like, he just said the names to you and you had to hold back laughter. Like, those are such stupid names. I don't want to offend the guy because I'm sure he came up with those drinks himself. Anyway, so I took the first shot. I'm like, oh, it's not that strong. Then he's like, he gave the next thing. He told us what all's in it. He gave the story of what you're supposed to feel, the hints of this, that, you name it.
Yeah.
I didn't care.
I'm supposed to feel drunk.
I just downed it, bro. I downed it.
I'm expecting
Straight down. Okay. The guy looks at me as if I just did a somersault in front of him. He's like, okay, maybe this guy's got some capacity. He pours the next drink. He tells us his entire story. I grab the drink and then he stops me. He's like, sir, like, I think you should enjoy this drink. He's like, you should enjoy the drink. And I'm like, oh, okay, fine. I just downed it.
This is how he enjoys it.
It was so bad, dude. Like, it was like I didn't like the Fenny he had. The cocktails, maybe they're okay. Maybe he had something, but it was,
dude,
could have been better.
Dude, and you know what? What's the most irritating thing about that Fenny drinking experience? We went to this alcohol museum and they spoke for like 2 hours and irritated us about glasses and different things. The alcohol in the end we drank was through test tubes, dude. You remember? We drank that Fenny through 4 test tubes.
I mean, they're not test tubes. Like, see, they were shot glasses, but they were perfectly cylindrical and they look like thick test tubes.
It was a test tube in a test tube holder. It was a fat test tube. I'm telling you.
Okay, fine. Maybe they had some weird... I think I know what they did. You know how they had the setup in the back for making Fenny? I think spare glass. They would have used that to make those shot glasses. They did not taste like big shots, like you could sip it easily. I don't think those are true one peg shots. I think the volume itself of the drinks weren't that good.
Yeah,
so did anything happen after those 4 shots?
Nothing, dude.
Dude, we drove back like it was nothing.
Yeah, nothing happened.
Probably should have just listened to his story then, Would have been worth your while.
I listened to everything. Genuinely was boring, dude.
Like,
it could have been better. You could tell that the person over there was tired of saying the same story again and again.
Yeah. Oh my God. But so this guy must be serving shots to everybody, right? And
everyone who takes the trip start taking these shots.
That sounds like a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God. And then having people like you who just drink in front of his face, don't even listen to the shit he's saying. Absolutely no respect. No fucking regard. This man has been standing there waiting for you to show up so he can tell you about this nice drinking. You're like, yeah, fuck you, man. Give me my shot. Give me my test tube shot, man. That's nasty, man. At least they could have given a proper glass, man. That's bad. I don't like that.
I don't know.
Sagar and I mixed weird drinks.
The weirdest. Like we were the mixologists. I think they should have put us there and been like, you guys come up with the drink.
So what we did while we were in Goa, at night we would sit on Sagar's terrace and drink.
Yeah.
So what we would do is there's a liquor store close to his house. We would buy 750 of some strong liquor and the usual stuff to mix with it. One of these days, we had the usual stuff.
Yeah.
Sagar then spots in the shop a bottle of sugarless Gatorade.
Oh yeah, what is that contraption? Have you guys tried that? That shit's horrible.
Oh, we tried it, okay. We tried it.
Why is there a sugarless Gatorade out there?
Exactly.
We had that sugarless Gatorade mixed with the cheapest, most pungent Fenny we could find. It was so bad. It was terrible. It didn't even taste like Gatorade or Fenny in the end. If you smelt it, it just stank.
Oh, yeah, just must.
In the end, we finished those Gatorade bottles and we were completely disgusted and drunk at the same time.
Oh, that shit, that got us drunk.
I hate the fact that they switched Gatorade. It's just like it feels the same as because you can't find a normal regular Gatorade anymore.
Yeah.
All I see is sugar free, right?
Yeah.
And this reminds me so much of how Perk became Perk Glucose.
Right.
Oh. God, I miss Perk. I miss Bites, man. I miss Perk.
Do you know the reason why Gatorade became sugarless?
No.
So all these, Gatorade in the end is still a sports drink, right?
Yeah.
When sports drinks, I'm not talking about energy drinks, I'm talking about these sports drink, electrolytic type rehydration drinks started becoming famous, or when the hype started coming around, all the big names were sugarless. Now Gatorade's been around forever. Gatorade, Powerade, you name it. And whenever a new drink came out, the main comparison was we don't have sugar in it and we're healthier than Gatorade. Gatorade had to compete, so they had to redo their formula with doesn't include sugar.
Oh,
But why couldn't they
wow.
come up with a better tasting formula, dude?
I don't know, dude.
Sugar-free is never supposed to taste good. I don't know why people like drinking sugar-free. I punish myself by drinking Coke Zero just so, I don't end up like chugging a second Red Bull.
I
But I
drink
can
everything
stick to-
sugar free.
Really?
Yeah, everything. Other than an occasional can of Monster, everything I drink is sugar free.
Yeah.
But I've
But I
got
could
like,
never.
I don't know, but
Feels very-
when it comes to like drinks, I can drink the weirdest shit. Like no matter how pungent, how strong it tastes, I can down it.
Really?
Don't start now,
Really?
dude. Don't start.
Well, I have some ideas of something I can send
This
over,
guy. Yeah, no thanks.
There are a couple of things I can send over. It'll taste like asparagus, I promise. Not
Oh,
that bad.
definitely.
Yeah.
Where are you
Might
based
look
right now?
In Gujarat, man.
Oh, back there, huh?
Yeah.
It's illegal, right?
Yeah, man. I can't be in the same city as some criminal man who's been. He didn't even do a great job as a criminal, man. He's not even like admirable in any which way. Wait, that's a good thing though. That's what a criminal should be. Yeah, never mind. But I'm trying to get out. I'm trying to find. I've been looking for opportunities abroad as well because India is absolutely, give me tullu, kuch nahi mil raha hai. So
It's scary.
might as
It's
well-
actually scary.
Is it going abroad?
No, I'm talking about the situation here.
Oh yeah, 100%. It almost makes going abroad less scary, and like
Right.
being abroad is not that great either. I've been talking to. Yeah, just got out.
I mean,
Just left.
USA doesn't seem like a better place right now.
Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
And I don't know. The thing is, all the information we get about another country is again through their broadcast media or something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't
Yeah.
trust anything they put out there, dude. I have no idea what's really happening anywhere outside. I have
Yeah,
no
but
idea what's
that's-
happening in my own state, actually.
I think that's a problem everywhere. Like so many media outlets have ties with government parties or government bodies, etc. So because that the media itself is so controlled. I mean, I don't know if this is true or not, but somewhere I saw that like some of the biggest news channels in the US in itself are owned by like 2 or 3 families.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, something
Even
like
in
that.
India, da. Even in India.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just like a monopoly. They're just like Ambani owns, I think, not sure which one. I think Network 18 or something, or NDTV is owned by, I think, Ambani or Adani again. Like they all own the same shit, dude. Everyone owns. Like now, Musk owns Twitter. Okay,
Right.
Zuckerberg
I
owns
mean,
Facebook.
we're not accusing anyone of anything. But the point is, we're just
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
it's kind of scary knowing that
that you
that like
guys
the
control
way
everything.
like the
but we love
source
you.
of this information we have is like in the end it's like in the hands of some people. It can be scary for the general populace. That's what I want to say.
I want to know whose hands is Aaj Tak in, man. That
Hey, let
fucking
me just Google this shit,
broadcast-
dude. Somebody-
Please do.
What did you ask?
Please do, because Aaj Tak, right? I want to know whose hand is Aaj Tak in. Who owns that wild? Oh my God!
Owns
Have you
Aaj Tak.
seen?
Living Media India until today, owned by Today Network. Today Network again is India Today Group.
Isn't
Okay.
India Today a lot more reputed to be handling
Some
Aaj Tak?
bugger like him and me are doing the branding for them.
Oh
That's
God!
all. Oh my God.
I remember Aaj Tak was probably the only news channel that was talking about aliens. alien
Adani Group
sightings in
owns
India.
NDTV. Adani Group owns NDTV, and Aaj Tak, for some fuck all reason, they've not given the name of the person, dude.
Yeah.
That's scary. That is actually
Yeah.
scary.
What?
You did this, right? You did this. What?
No, I did that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
dude, I don't have a single dancing muscle in my body, man. Can you
Okay.
believe it?
Peace.
Yeah, I look like a paraplegic if I'm on the floor.
Oh, okay.
You should never look
I
at
thought,
me. Yeah.
I thought with that silver chain and all your music and etc. I thought into hip hop or like b-boying or something like that.
Yeah, bro, with your headphones and all, I thought you were like a fucking big time actor or something. I know, man. You're making baseless assumptions, bro. You saw my chain and you're like, "Ha, bhai, tu to dancer hai." You are a dancer.
No, he also
bro.
did all that, right? He did. It's a very common move, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Just because I can do it does not make me a dancer. Yeah.
I
But
wanna
anyway,
see
go on,
that.
Neville. You want to see what?
I want to see Neville dance, dude, once.
What is wrong with you?
I'd do anything. I would do anything.
You know,
You name it.
You've seen me dance, Sagar.
I've seen you dance, but the thing is, I've not seen you dance like full on.
What does full on mean?
Like full on, dude. Like let go and dance. I've seen
Like
it as
butt naked.
not like that. Let go.
I mean, that's how I would like to. But
Not like that. Like, just like let go and dance of all your like inhibitions or whatever.
You owe me a
Without
bottle of
alcohol.
second when
Without
the
alcohol.
bottle-
Like,
Without alcohol.
yeah, like I've only seen you dance when you're on alcohol or something. I've never seen you do anything like remotely little let go of some control when you're not on
Yeah.
alcohol. Yeah.
yeah, never. Why don't you do that right now? Why don't you just like group,
Yeah,
move a little? Why don't you just stand up?
Fuck off. Hell this guy on about, dude. Anyway, Sagar, you owe me a bottle of Sagar. When that
I am
comes my
getting
way,
it, I'll get you too.
When that comes my way, you'll get your dance, alright?
What do you think? I want you to strip for me or something? I'm saying do it for the podcast.
I'm not doing it for the podcast. Fuck off. You fucking dance, dude.
Sagar, you
gotta-
promised me. Sagar, you promised me you send that video to me.
Of course,
That
of
you
course.
take of him dancing, obviously, because I've never seen him dancing. He's never danced in front of me. We met at Toy, man. How are you going to dance at Toy?
I've never
You
gone
can't
to
dance
toy.
like toy, dude. Yeah, you're an idiot, dude. We're not going to toy. Everyone in Bangalore's gone to toy at least once.
I don't have any social life, I feel, dude. Except
you
like
don't.
I don't
Just
have
talk to me.
actually.
That's
This guy is the only guy I talk to. This guy and my girlfriend. That's all. My entire WhatsApp chat is filled with like just these two. Actually, only this guy. I don't even
Yeah.
like text my girlfriend. Like that's how. I don't.
I mean,
know.
you talked about being looking like a gay couple in Goa. So I mean,
That's it. Like this guy.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Shit.
I think your girlfriend needs to start worrying. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, he's like my Sotan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, what do we
Yeah.
talk about which is not
Yeah.
getting us in trouble?
Mm.
Neville?
what we can talk about that won't get us in trouble.
Yeah, you won't get us lynched. You're a minority.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, keep
Who,
that in
me?
mind.
No, he's
I
talking
could
about
never.
me.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
could never be.
You're not a
But
minority.
No one will
No,
see
never.
you as a
Hell no. Hell no, man. Hell no. Hell to the no.
Really? Okay.
No. Yeah.
Dude, he is dead. Like he's the like if you take everything Indian about an Indian person,
I'm a
Boil it
privileged
down.
man. That's all. I
boil
am.
it down to like the simplest form and like jam it into a single person, you'll get Delhi, dude. And this guy is like
Yeah.
pure blood, 100% Delhiite. I mean, the entire discussion we had is quite interesting. We spoke about like the work environments. We spoke about like general experiences we had. We spoke about like our work experiences, and finally, when we had the cut in the middle, then we switched on to Ashmit's experiences from like he gave us a bit of an insight of how life is. I believe this would give a lot of folk some perspective, which I
Yeah.
think is needed. So I thought I'd
Definitely.
like thanks a lot for everything you brought up today, Ashmit. I genuinely liked the conversation we had, start to finish,
Yeah.
every single topic. Yeah.
But all you have to do is just stay persistent, be there, trust yourself, and yeah, man, bitches ain't shit, hoes ain't tricks, man. Fuck that shit. Just focus on cheddar money. Just get some money on the plate and everything's sorted, man. Fuck that shit. Fuck everybody else, man. Fuck them hoes, man. I'm out. Peace. I don't have a mic, man. Also, would have just dropped my AirPods or some shit like that.
But
Well, those are some wise, absolute.
yeah.
Yeah. Cut everything. Cut all the nice parts I said and just
This
keep the
is-
last.
But one thing, dude, Neville, what do you think? Like any community, not just LGBT or any like other than gender or any other marginalized community, like I feel they're always welcome here at NGL, right?
Yeah, sure,
anyone,
why not?
anyone for that
Yeah.
matter. Yeah.
We don't take people on like for the sake of whether they're this community, that community. Like the point is, if you have something which we think is worth talking about, we would love to have you.
Which you
It's
think is
true.
worth talking about as well, not just us. You
Right,
know,
right,
we
right.
are not
I mean-
the gatekeepers here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, like from the standpoint of being host, we also need to like screen a couple
Of
of
course.
folks. But the point of the matter is, like, if you have a story worth saying, we would love to hear from you. And if you think we can work it out, do reach out to us, and we might have you on. Like we've got Instagram, you can reach out to us on that. Sagar might put it on screen. Same thing along with our email ID that should be in the description. You can email us that way. I said we'd love to hear from you. And to any of the viewers, if you have any questions or just general points, please leave them in the comments. If it's something interesting, we might bring it up in the next episode.
Yeah, and if there's something we said wrong,
please correct us. God,
I'd love to learn. I'd love to learn because I'm still learning every day, man.
I realized you're so fucking ignorant about this.
Well, I would like to thank everyone for watching, listening, whatever this did for you. It means a lot to us that you watched to the end. With that being said, that has been our first true episode of Not Gonna Lie. And I would like to do special thanks to Ashmit for coming on and speaking on.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here, man.
Yeah,
really appreciate it.
Maybe
down the line, we'd love to have you again as well.
Definitely.
Yeah, I love that. I definitely love to be a part.
You don't have alcohol in Gujarat.
Hey, listen, if Rakshit could crash into all those cars. Hey, listen, alcohol's available, man. There's nothing to worry about.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, I don't think I should be saying that here. Yeah, I don't think I should be saying that.
On that note,
alcohol's not available in Gujarat. Sorry.
On that note, I've been your host, Neville. That's Sagar. And that's Ashmit.
Yeah, man.
See you all, folks. Signing off.
Enjoy. Bye.
Bye-bye.